Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is me Fereshteh Arshad and I'm also known as Fereshteh Arshad AiWali on my all social media platforms, and as you all know we are here with a really amazing guest. So आज मेरे साथ मौजूद है Roshiqua Ali HappinessWali. So आज हम इनकी लाइफ जर्नी के बारे में जानेंगे. How was her life being so far? So yeah, we will know more about ma'am Roshiqua. So thank you so much ma'am. आपने मुझे अपना precious time दिया मेरे इंटरव्यू के लिए. And yeah, so अस्सलाम वालेकुम, कैसी हैं?
Walaikum salam, Farishta. Thank you so much for having me on your show. It's an honor. And as far as I'm concerned, I guess all the students in the Rehan School would know me from the morning shift. I conduct the morning shift, and I especially help you guys in your English reviews, um, especially when you try to make sense of the TED Talk, the video. So I help students in doing that. I try to break it down. I make it simpler for them, and so that when they record the reviews, they actually know what they are talking about. So this is my little bit of uh, let's say this is the way I contribute to the morning shift. So yes,
Okay,
Farishta,
thank
this is what I
you
do.
so much for your introduction. We can say like that. And yeah, thank you so much. And I have watched your some reviews, I think, and that was really nice. And I have watched you in the morning shift because my father joined that, and I just love that all that you talk about and all that. So thank you so much, ma'am. So firstly, can you please share your life journey a little bit? How was your life so far? And how did you join Rehan School? And how was your all life journey and all that?
Of course. So Farishte, I was born in Lahore. My schooling and college life all were in Lahore. I was lucky enough to be admitted in a very good school, which is Convent of Jesus and Mary, and it was also my mother's school. So it was a very strict school, but I tell you, it developed my skill set and it made me who I am. Uh, I learned good English from my school, and of course, it was further polished in the Canade College for Women Lahore. Like my school was a missionary school, so it was run by nuns, and it was very, very strict. The discipline there was tremendous. It was like no, no. It's like you couldn't make any excuse at all. The nuns just wouldn't hear of it. So you had to be on top of your game all the time, and this sort of made me develop a sense of responsibility. I wouldn't necessarily say that too much strictness is a good thing for children, but for me, I think at that time it kind of worked. Um, it made me the kind of a person I am. It made me organized. Um, my school, like would like push me to do stuff. So, and I think children do need that little bit of this little bit of push and encouragement. So you need to. And initially, anything you do is difficult. So you just have to stick through it, and if you stick through it, there will come a time when you master it. So that was my that is the way I was brought up in the school, and also my home as well, because my mother was also from the Convent of Jesus and Mary. All my aunts were from the Convent of Jesus and Mary. So, they all had a similar kind of a mindset and a similar kind of behavior. And later on, college, of course, Canade College for Women was a very was a highly sought after institution when I was studying there. I mean, later on, maybe the standard slipped, but at that time when it was in the hands of the missionaries, it was a very good institute. So I did my master's in English literature from there, and then I got married, and I moved to Multan. And my husband's family rather had a chain of schools. So I got my first experience of teaching there. because when I went to my husband's branch, and I was not very impressed by the English teacher. I thought, like, if children cannot speak English, and we claim to be an English medium school, then the children should be able to speak English, and the children should be able to, like, articulate themselves. So I started taking English myself. Uh, and that was the start of my journey, teaching. And I learned a lot along the way because I was not trained to be a teacher. I had no training whatsoever. I just jumped in, like, and I just started working straight away. So I worked there for around 17 years. And after that, I started working for another school, Bloomfield Hall School. I was offered the headship of the girls' branch. Then, I was offered the headship of uh, Beacon House School, which is again a big school. It's quite renowned. I was the head of the early years section for around 4 years, and then after that, Fereshteh, I got cancer. And when I got cancer, I had to, of course, take time off. And then when I rejoined work, obviously I didn't want to take on the headship and that all that extra kind of burden which goes with it. But still, I ended up heading the Bloomfield Hall toddlers section. So, last year, Farishte, I had another health scare. um, I had to have another surgery, and thank God the surgery did not turn out to be cancer, but it kind of jolted me. So I felt that I should pursue like working online more than going to a physical school and going through the whole like get, because it is tiring when you go out and you work and the whole day you're working, and then when you come back you really do not have that kind of energy. So I thought that I should explore online like teaching. And first I rested, I didn't do anything much, but while I was resting, I happened to come across the Rehan School, and they were offering a teachers training boot camp. So I thought I'll join that and just, sort of feel my way across and see if I actually learn anything. Because, I was a traditional teacher, traditional school setting. The most we did in, online teaching was during Corona, and, when everyone had to go online. And that was my little bit of experience of teaching online. But that was, I felt that I was not equipped to, handle a class online because I did not have the tools. So I did the online teaching, like this training camp, and it was a 2 month course. And after doing that, I was offered the post of a facilitator in the Rehan School, and so here I am. It's been a month, and I learn new things every day. It's interesting. It's quite it's quite enlightening, like in some ways, you kids know more than I do. And like it's like a mutually beneficial exchange. Like, I tell you my little bit and you tell me much more. So like for me it's amazing, and I'm enjoying the journey thus far. So let's see what lies ahead.
Okay, thank you so much for your wonderful answer, and I did love to know more about you. And yeah, so nextly, my question for you is like, any challenge, that a big challenge you have ever faced, and like that is a thing that you learn a lot from challenges and from difficulties, from problems and all that. So, have you ever been survived from a challenge and you learned a lot, a big lesson from that?
Well, Farishta, cancer was a big challenge. I never thought that I would, like, it's like nobody wants to know that, you've got cancer. And the thing was that I was perfectly fine. I didn't feel sick or anything. But, I had to have a test done, and it was like a small thing. And when the test came back, and it was very shocking because, then there was the biopsy, and then, of course, the whole procedure went underway. And then I had to have chemotherapy and surgery and radiation. So it was a very, very challenging time for me. But that, like that challenge made me realize that, like I should not all the time be focused on, getting things done and only having my way and, like being a perfectionist. Because you see, like that kind of, cancer showed me that I was pretty insignificant in the whole grand scheme of things, you know because here I was, fighting cancer, and somebody else could do my job. I wasn't irreplaceable. It was not as if they couldn't find another head. They could find, they could find 10 people. So it sort of it gave me a jolt, and it made me appreciate my family a lot. My son, my husband, they were there with me all the time. So it made me appreciate them a lot more, and my family, my parents, and of course all the friends who stood by me and who prayed for me during that time. So it made me appreciate uh, that life is not just running after ambitions and goals and to be so driven. It's not all that important, like to reach, like like for me now, titles don't matter. It doesn't matter to me that whether I'm a teacher, facilitator, student. It really doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is what I am doing, what whatever 2 cents worth of knowledge and wisdom and help that I can give. I'm willing to do it, and that is it. So I'm not looking for any titles, or or name or labels or anything anymore. So cancer kind of made me realize that.
Okay, that's really good to know that you faced cancer and you beat that. That's a really great thing to know. Hello, nextly my question is, I think it's a little bit difficult because if someone is watching from the morning shift, so that is little difficult for you. So, who is your favorite student in Rehan School in the morning shift?
You know what, Ferishteh, teachers don't have favorites. Like I tell you honestly, uh, any child who responds to you, like if you are talking to someone and they are actually listening to you, so that automatically, you tend to like that person more, because you feel that that person is more connected to you. So like for me, all the children are my favorite. But I of course like the ones who listen, who try to improve, who try to follow, whatever I tell them. So I feel that they my time is not getting wasted like that. They're learning something out of it. They're getting something out of it. So obviously for any teacher, it's like children who respond, who are who pay attention to you, who try to learn, who try to improve. And that makes my day. That like I'm trying to tell you something, and if you get it, I mean, that's I'm over the moon.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful answer. So, my next question from you is like everyone just get demotivated from their task. Like when I do so much task of Rehan school, so that is little bit difficult to stay very motivated about the every daily routine. So, how do you stay motivated all the time about your task and about your work? And what advice will you give to our audience to stay motivated in their whole journey
Hmm.
and their whole industry journey and all that?
I can understand that. I can understand, Parishte, that that sometimes it's easy to like to say that I'm not doing this today or something, and occasionally it's okay to not like sort of do your task. But I tell you, you need to have your eyes on the prize, because you see, the thing is, all these tasks are designed to develop certain skills in you, and those skills will get more and more honed with practice. It's quite like the convent, like we were taught, like when you have to do something, you have to do it. It's grit. There's a term for it. It's called grit. You have to, sort of, you have to soldier through. You cannot, like, sort of shirk off your responsibility. And I think that if the Rehan School develops this capacity in you, then you are geared for a very successful life. Because, like I was reading somewhere that the most successful people anywhere are not the most brilliant people. They are the people who just stick to their work, who just stick to the script even when everyone else is abandoning theirs. So grit and determination, that is the one thing, that is the one skill set which is going to last you guys. This is the one thing which is going to get you through all kinds of situations. So grit and determination, and I think this is what the Rehan School is trying to develop in children. And if they are successful in this, then I'm telling you, you guys are ready to take over the world. Farishta, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, I think the plug got off from the laptop. So yeah, I was asking that so many people are self-obsessed. Personally, I am like that person. Like I don't some people are jealous with someone's she has a lot things similar to me, but I don't have so many things. So are you that type of person from your childhood, or you are that type of person? It's okay. You have also so many things like that all.
Yeah, because you see, when you are, because that kind of behavior is also learned, Farishte. Like in my school when I was growing up, uh, it was not very, like, we didn't have imported stationery. We didn't have a lot of, like, fancy stuff. Because that was the time I'm talking about, way back. I mean, you like, imagine when your parents were little. Like, I probably might be older than them a little bit also. So at that time it was not, like, everyone could not have fancy stuff, and everyone could not have, like, really expensive things. And like, and the people who did have them, they would bring them to school to show off. But our teachers and our, the principal and the convent, like, sort of the nuns, they would discourage that. They would say, no, you cannot bring such stuff to school, because what is going to happen is that you're going to, like, make the other person feel bad, and you don't do that. So this kind of behavior is learnt. So it is like, it's like, it was kind of drummed into us from a very early age, that you will not show off if you are richer than someone, or if you come in a bigger car, and if someone comes in a rickshaw, and like, you will not, like, consider yourself to be superior. If anything, if you want to be superior in your work. Get better grades, do better than others. If you want to compete, you have to compete in the right field. So like, that was kind of inbuilt in our, during the time that I was in school. Unfortunately, when I started working, and especially in the private school culture nowadays, this kind of thing is actually encouraged. Or nobody says anything. There are children who say, I will not go to school in that car, because that is like a poor person's car. I know children who say, I want to go to school in the Audi only. Like, and for them, the Audi is taken out every day, and the children go in that car to school, because they don't want to go in a smaller car, because they feel embarrassed in front of their friends. you know they feel embarrassed about their stationery, and about their backpacks, and about their clothes and the shoes. And I think that is a terrible thing. That is a terrible kind of stress to put young children under. And it's not fair on parents. And unfortunately, I would say that it is the parents' fault for choosing, organizations or institutions which foster this kind of competition. I know parents, I know for by like parents who don't want their children to interact with a child who maybe does not dress as well, or who maybe comes from, let's say, a less privileged background. And I think it is terrible. You are doing a big disservice to your child, and it's like you're not setting him up for any kind of success. But unfortunately, this kind of thinking is so prevalent. Everything has a price tag. Schools have a price tag. It's a label. If you go to a school where, the minimum fee is, an exorbitant amount, that means that, necessarily that school is going to be better. It's not going to be better. It's not going to, really, make much of a difference. So, if anything, you're setting up your child for, like, for major failure. Because you see, like, from a very little age, children are brand conscious. They're conscious about their shoes. They're conscious about their clothes, and they're conscious about their bags and their cars, and who's coming and who has a Filipina maid, and I don't have a Filipina maid, and why don't I have that, and why does he have, like, this kind of competition. And then, of course, the Instagram thing, like this constant posting stories and this competition, that, and you're constantly seeing that, oh my god, he's doing this, and I'm not able to do this, and she's going there, and I'm not able to go there. And this FOMO, this thingy, we never had that. When we were growing up. It was very simple. um, I mean, of course, yes, there was this undercurrent of, who is desirable and who's not, but that was not the only driving force. And I don't think that should be the case in schools. Because if you start doing it in schools, what kind of people are you going to, what kind of people are these, like, kids going to grow up to be? What kind of a generation are we producing? These people will have absolutely no self respect, very low self worth, and they will be constantly, evaluating themselves, against these impossible standards. And it's just inhuman. No one can do this. You're like, like, you're heading towards, mental disturbance of a major sort. So that kind of thing, it really, it worries me, and I don't think it is particularly attractive. Schools should be schools. Schools are not like hotels, and, like, they're not, like, they shouldn't be elitist. I mean, yes, there are some schools are for the elite. I know, like, there's schools for a certain class, and I understand all of that. But certain basic principles and values, they should be upheld, and they should be taught in the school.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much, ma'am, for wonderful answer. So, Nikhil, we are heading towards the end of our podcast. So, lastly, have you ever experienced a horror nightmare or like that? Whenever I just had watched a movie of a little bit horror movie, so I just had so much scary nightmares, like of the ghost and of the spirits and all that. So, have you ever experienced horror experience? You were in an abandoned house, or you were alone in the house and all that?
Well, I tell you what, you know what, uh, like, I watch a lot of movies, and I watch horror movies as well. There was this one horror movie I watched, which was not, it not did not have a single terrible demon, or, scary face or anything. But it was all about, these people who move into this house, and they are told that, don't move in there. But it's like a new housing society, and they're getting the house cheap, and they move in there. And within 10 days, you know like, they end up going to a mental asylum, and nothing untoward happens, and nothing, it's called uh, supernatural. If you have, it's an old movie. But the way, like, when it finished, I was not scared. But afterwards, Farishte, I mean, sitting in the room by myself, oh my God, it would creep me out, just just being, by myself would creep me out because it was so well made. It was very scary. And it didn't have any like scary element really in it. No horrible faces, no blood dripping, no nothing. But it was one of the most scariest things I've ever seen, and that sort of gave me nightmares. Yeah. You are muted, bete.
Sorry, thank you so much for telling me. So yeah, we have ended your podcast, and I think our time is also done. So that was really an amazing experience with you, Ma'am Roshika, and that was really a great opportunity to take your interview. And thank you so much for your precious time, and also thank you so much everyone for watching our full conversation. You can say podcast like that, and yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Allah Hafiz, take care, and I will see you in if I will be in the morning shift next time. So I will inshallah see you. Allah Hafiz. Thank you so much.
Inshallah. Bye bye. Bye.
Bye.